Hi, and welcome to week 2 of our crochet along for the Winter's Embrace blanket, part of the Modern Tonal Home Holiday Collection. I'm Stephanie. If you're just discovering this video now, you're absolutely welcome to jump in. We're making a cozy modern blanket designed with calm tonal color blocks, perfect for adding a handmade touch to your winter decor. You'll find the full written pattern and all the CAL details linked for you in the description below. That includes the schedule, materials, and any helpful extras to keep you on track. Now, for the rest of you, let's dive into week 2 and keep on stitching. Alright, so I finished the cranberry section and now you should be on row 48. So I've got my stitch marker on the even side, the even row side, and this will be row 48 starting. So I finished on row 47 with the cranberry. Now this is the section that has 3 colors in it. So we've done up through here the cranberry. Now we're going to do the cherries in the snow color, whichever you've chosen. That should be kind of a mauve color, depending which brand you're using. Not all of them have this particular color, so I put some options for you. You can mix and match whatever you chose that suits your taste. And then the light tone, which is what I'm calling bark. So I'm using the linen color with the I Love This yarn. You can do white, soft gray, or something in this realm as your shade, and then we'll still be keeping with that marshmallow pink color. So we'll be starting the row with the cherries in the snow color. Now, I want to remind you, I'm going to say this a lot because you don't know at what point in the pattern this may happen to you. If for whatever reason your skein does not allow you to complete your color block section, we will make it work, okay? I don't want you stressing out, having to go get another ball. I know people are on budgets, and it's also very inconvenient to have to run out. You know, you're trying to stay in this 1 week time frame, and if you don't, of course, that's fine. You do what you can. I know life happens, but just for the sake of having something for the community and us to work together, it's a weekly pattern drop that I'm doing. So if for some reason you are not able to complete the last row, now the manufacturer may have been measuring by weight, not by yards, and you ran short. Maybe your tension is different. Maybe you're using a bigger hook because you like the drape better. It could be anything that's happening. We're not going to stress out about it, okay? That's just where you stop. Go to the next section, come back to the even number side and start working from there. If you're concerned about your finished length being too short because you're going to be running into this, you might even be using yarn that you have on hand and you're trying to make that work. That could be another reason you run short. You can just make the next sections, for instance, here and here, these are shorter. They're going to be wide, but they're shorter, so you'll have more yarn. You can add 2 more rows, you know, go back and forth 1 extra time to make up for that approximately 1/2 inch to 1 inch you might be missing because you ran out of yarn in one of the previous rows. So we'll make it work. Don't think you have to be perfect about this. There's a way to be creative and do a workaround. All right, so I'm going to, let me undo this last stitch so that I can bring up my new color. I misplaced, I don't know where my plastic hook is, so I had to get out my metal. I'll have to find it because I don't like using these hooks very much. So chain 1, turn, pull this snug. So we're going to do 139 stitches and then do the color change. So it'll be 15 stitches each of the bark and then of the marshmallow pink at the end of the row. And we're still bringing that color, always bring it forward when you're finished with your color so that it's there waiting for you in the back when you need to pull it up again. And if you like, which I think I'm going to do that now, I'm going to mark my stitch so I don't have to keep counting, my 15 that I'll be working here on the light color. Let me get out another stitch marker. Okay, this is the 15th stitch, so this is the last 30 of this row marked for color changing. And I'll meet you back when I come to that first color change. All right, so I'm getting close to my stitch marker where I'll be changing colors. Pull up, bring forward. Pull through, snug this up a little bit. I can take out my stitch marker. Go back into that stitch to pull up my loop. And then keep working until I get to where the baby pink comes in. So I pull this. I think it was supposed to go here instead of here. I want to make sure all of my color joins look exactly the same. They're not invisible, but that's okay as long as they're consistent. Another thing you could do if you find yourself coming up a little short with your rows because of your yarn, you can make that section that is just all the bark color bigger. You know, do a few more rows of that. If you keep track of any rows that you have come short, that would be a really nice dramatic look. And you still get that same transition effect. And I'm coming up to the marshmallow pink. All right, bring this forward. And then my pink is already attached because I've been using it. Just pull through, make that snug, and continue working. Right, so up through row 79 is done now, and it's time to start in the next color block, which is the bark and pink marshmallow only. Now you'll notice you've got two sections of pink marshmallow. So what I've done is pulled from that skein I was working from and made a different ball because the yarn will not be carried over through the section. And then again, we're going to count out where the bark will start for this row. So from the last stitch of the bark here, I'm going to count 20 stitches. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, and 20. I will put a stitch marker in there. And a reminder, you should have the even number stitch marker side facing you now, as always when we change the color block sections. It's always on the even row number side. And then back here, I'm going to cut my bark because it starts over here and that's a long way from here to here. So I will cut it and then reintroduce it as I get to that stitch marker point in the pattern. So long enough M to weave in. And then I have it here. Just check my ends that they're smooth and not going to get caught anywhere. Alright, so let me bring up my pink marshmallow and start row number 80. So I'll pull out this last stitch so that I can bring up the pink marshmallow for the next row. Snug, do my chain 1 and turn. And then begin working as I have been the same stitch. All right, I'm coming up to the stitch marker now. And I will be bringing up the bark color. Here. Bring my pink marshmallow forward. Pull through. And keep working until it's time to change to pink marshmallow again. I keep working here through the previous bark section as we gradually work to where it will be mostly bark and a little bit of pink marshmallow off to one side, but we've got to finish this section first before we get there. Right, bring my bark forward and then pick up that second skein that I have been using of the pink marshmallow and finish my last 15 stitches of the row. And then just keep repeating these back and forth until you get to row 109. Don't forget to take photos of your works in progress and post them to social media, tagging as shown in the video card here for your chance to win a Premier Yarn gift card. I will see you back here again next week for week 3. We will be coming up to our halfway point.